I ruined my best friend's wedding day. Yes, it is true. I did it. I told everyone. My name is Melissa. She was marrying the wrong man. So I stood up during the ceremony and told them his secret. It was the hardest thing I have ever done. My hands were shaking. My voice was shaking. But I had to do it. Let me tell you how it happened. Let me tell you why I did this. I am 25 years old. I live in a small town. Everyone knows everyone here. It is a quiet place. We have a park, a school, and a few shops. It is a nice place to live. My best friend is named Sarah. Sarah and I have known each other for 20 years. We met when we were 5 years old. We were in the same class at school. I remember the first day we met. I was crying. I missed my mother. Sarah came to me. She gave me a cookie. She smiled at me. "Do not cry," she said. "I will be your friend." From that day, we were always together. We played together. We studied together. We grew up together. We were like sisters. We told each other everything. We had no secrets. Sarah is a kind person. She has a big heart. She always wants to help people. She sees the good in everyone. That is her best quality. But it is also her weakness. Sometimes she trusts people too much. I am different. I am careful. I watch people. I listen. I want to protect the people I love. And I love Sarah very much. 3 years ago, Sarah met a man. His name was Mark. Mark was new in our town. He was handsome. He had a nice smile. He had a good job. He worked at the bank. He drove a nice car. Sarah fell in love very fast. She came to my house one day. She was very happy. Her eyes were shining. "Melissa," she said, "I met a man. He is perfect." I was happy for her. I wanted her to be happy. "Tell me about him," I said. She talked for hours. She told me about his eyes. She told me about his voice. She told me he was funny. A few days later, I met Mark. We went to dinner. Sarah, Mark, and me. I wanted to like him. I really did. But something felt wrong. Mark was polite. He opened the door for us. He paid for the food. He smiled a lot. But his eyes were cold. When Sarah was not looking, his face changed. He looked bored. He looked at his phone many times. I asked him questions. "Where are you from, Mark?" I asked. "I am from the city," he said quickly. He did not say which city. "What about your family?" I asked. "They are far away." "We are not close," he said. He looked away. He did not want to talk about his life. I felt a bad feeling in my stomach. You know that feeling, when you think something is wrong, but you do not know what it is. I felt that. But Sarah was happy. She held his hand. She laughed at his jokes. So I said nothing. I told myself I was wrong. I told myself I was being jealous. Months passed. Mark and Sarah were always together. Sarah spent less time with me. That is normal when you fall in love. I understood, but I missed my friend. Sometimes I saw Mark in town. He was usually alone. One day, I saw him at the post office. He was sending money. He had a lot of cash in his hand. I walked up to him. "Hello, Mark," I said. He jumped. He looked scared. He quickly put the money in his pocket. "Oh, hello, Melissa," he said. His voice was tight. "What are you doing?" I asked. "Nothing," he said, "just paying a bill." He walked away very fast. He did not say goodbye. I thought this was strange. Why was he scared? Why did he have so much cash? Most people use cards now. I told Sarah about it. "I saw Mark today," I said. "He acted strange." Sarah laughed. "Oh, Melissa, you worry too much. He is just busy." She did not believe me. She trusted him completely. 1 year later, Mark asked Sarah to marry him. It was a big surprise. He took her to the park. He gave her a big ring. Sarah said yes. She called me immediately. She was crying with joy. "I am getting married," she screamed. "You must be my maid of honor. Please say yes." "Of course," I said. "I am so happy for you." But I was not happy. My heart felt heavy. The bad feeling in my stomach was stronger now. I tried to be a good friend. I helped Sarah plan the wedding. We looked at flowers. We tasted cakes. We bought dresses. Sarah was beautiful in her wedding dress. It was white and long. She looked like a princess. When she put it on, she cried. "I am so lucky," she said. "Mark is the best man in the world." I looked at her. I smiled. But inside, I was worried. The wedding was planned for June. It was going to be a big wedding. All our friends were coming. Sarah's family was coming. 1 week before the wedding, everything changed. I was at a coffee shop in the next town. I went there to buy a gift for Sarah. I wanted to get her something special. I was sitting at a table near the back. I was drinking my tea. Then I heard a voice, a familiar voice. It was Mark. He was sitting in a booth behind me. He could not see me, but I could hear him clearly. He was talking on the phone. He sounded angry. "I told you to wait," Mark said. "I will have the money soon." I stopped drinking my tea. I listened. "Just wait 1 more week," Mark said. "After the wedding, I will have access to her accounts. Her father is rich. We will have everything we need." My heart stopped. My blood went cold. He was talking about Sarah. He was talking about her money. "I do not love her," Mark said. "You know I love you, Tina. This is just business. Once I get the money, I will leave her. We can go away together." I felt sick. I wanted to vomit. Mark was using Sarah. He did not love her. He had another woman named Tina. He only wanted Sarah's money. I sat there for a long time. I was afraid to move. I was afraid he would see me. Finally, Mark hung up the phone. I heard him stand up. I lowered my head. He walked past me. He did not see me. I waited for 5 minutes. Then I ran to my car. My hands were shaking on the steering wheel. I could not breathe. What should I do? I drove to Sarah's house. I had to tell her. She was my best friend. I could not let her marry this man. When I arrived, Sarah was happy. She was packing her bags for the honeymoon. "Melissa," she said, "look at these shoes. Are they not cute?" I took a deep breath. "Sarah, we need to talk," I said. "It is important." She looked at my face. She saw I was serious. She stopped smiling. "What is wrong?" she asked. "Are you sick?" "No," I said. "It is about Mark." Sarah sighed. She rolled her eyes. "Not again, Melissa. Please do not start. I know you do not like him." "Sarah, please listen," I said. I grabbed her hands. "I was at the coffee shop today. I heard him talking on the phone. I told her everything. I told her about the money. I told her about Tina. I told her he said he did not love her. I expected her to cry. I expected her to be angry at Mark. But she was not angry at Mark. She was angry at me." She pulled her hands away. Her face turned red. "You are lying," she shouted. "I am not lying, Sarah," I said. "I heard him. He is using you." "Get out," she screamed. "You are jealous. You have always been jealous. You do not want me to be happy." "Sarah, please." "Get out," she yelled again. "Do not come to the wedding. I do not want to see you." I left her house. I was crying. I drove home. I sat in my room and cried for hours. My best friend hated me. She did not believe me. The next few days were terrible. I called Sarah, but she did not answer. I sent her messages. She did not reply. I spoke to our other friends. They told me Sarah was very angry. They told me I should apologize. "Just say you are wrong," they said. "Keep the peace." But I was not wrong. I knew the truth. I thought about staying home. I thought about skipping the wedding. Sarah told me not to come. But then I thought about Sarah's future. If she married Mark, he would take her money. He would break her heart. He would leave her. Her life would be ruined. I could not let that happen. Even if she hated me, I had to save her. The wedding day arrived. It was a beautiful day. The sun was shining. The birds were singing. I put on my dress. It was the maid of honor dress. It was blue. Sarah had chosen it for me months ago. I drove to the church. My heart was beating very fast. I was terrified. I walked into the church. People looked at me. They whispered. They knew Sarah and I had a fight. I did not sit in the front. I sat in the back. I wanted to be invisible. The music started. Everyone stood up. First came the bridesmaids. Then came Sarah. She looked beautiful, but she did not look happy. She looked pale. She looked tired. She walked slowly down the aisle. Mark was waiting at the front. He was wearing a nice suit. He was smiling. It was a fake smile. I knew that now. Sarah reached the front. She stood next to Mark. The priest began to speak. "Dearly beloved," the priest said, "we are gathered here today to join this man and this woman in marriage." I listened to the words. Every word felt like a lie. I looked at Mark. He was holding Sarah's hand. He looked confident. He thought he had won. He thought nobody knew his secret. I looked at Sarah. She was looking down at the floor. The priest continued. If anyone here has any reason why these two should not be married, speak now or forever hold your peace. The church was silent. This is the part where nobody speaks. It is just a tradition. But I could not stay silent. I felt a fire in my chest. I stood up. My legs were weak, but I forced myself to stand. I do, I shouted. The silence broke. Everyone turned around. Everyone looked at me. There were gasps. "Oh my goodness," someone said. Sarah turned around. She looked shocked. Mark looked angry. His face went white. I walked out of the pew. I walked into the aisle. "Melissa, sit down," Sarah's mother hissed. "No," I said loudly. "I will not sit down." I looked at Sarah. "Sarah, look at me," I said. My voice was shaking, but it was loud. "I love you. You are my best friend. I cannot let you do this." "Melissa, stop," Sarah said. She was crying now. "Please don't do this." "He is lying to you, Sarah." I pointed at Mark. Mark stepped forward. "She is crazy," he shouted. "Get her out of here. Someone call security." "I am not crazy," I yelled. I looked at the guests. I heard him. Last week, he was on the phone. He has a girlfriend named Tina. He said he does not love Sarah. He only wants her money. He said he will leave her after he gets the money. The whole church gasped. People started talking loudly. "That is a lie," Mark screamed. He was red in the face. He looked dangerous. "Is it a lie?" I asked. I walked closer to the front. "Then show us your phone, Mark. Show us your messages with Tina." Mark froze. He stopped moving. Sarah looked at Mark. She saw his face. She saw the fear in his eyes. "Mark," she whispered, "let me see your phone." "Sarah, baby." "Do not listen to her," Mark said. He tried to touch her arm. Sarah pulled away. "Let me see your phone," she screamed. Mark did not move. Then a woman stood up in the middle of the church. I did not know her. She was young. She was holding a baby. "It is true," the woman said quietly. Everyone looked at her. "I am Tina," she said. "And this is Mark's son." The church went completely silent. You could hear a pin drop. Mark looked at Tina. He looked defeated. He knew it was over. Sarah looked at the woman. Then she looked at the baby. The baby had Mark's eyes. Sarah turned to Mark. She did not scream. She did not hit him. She just took off her ring. She threw the ring at his chest. "Go," she said. Mark looked around. Everyone was staring at him with anger. Sarah's father stood up and walked toward him. Mark turned and ran. He ran out of the side door of the church. Sarah stood there alone. She was shaking. I ran to her. I wrapped my arms around her. "I am so sorry," I cried. "I am so sorry I ruined your day." Sarah collapsed into my arms. She cried and cried. "You saved me," she sobbed. "You saved my life." The wedding was over. The guests went home. It was a disaster, but it was also a miracle. Sarah went home with her parents. I went with them. I stayed by her side for the next 3 days. She did not eat. She did not sleep. She just cried. She felt stupid. She felt betrayed. How was I so blind? She asked me. How did I not see it? Love makes us blind, I told her. It is not your fault. He was a professional liar. It took a long time for Sarah to heal. For months, she was sad. She did not want to go out. She did not want to see anyone. But slowly, she got better. We started spending time together again, just like when we were kids. We went for walks. We watched movies. We cooked dinner. Our friendship became stronger than ever. One day, 1 year later, we were sitting in the park. The same park where we played as children. Sarah looked at me. She smiled. It was a real smile. "Melissa," she said. "Yes." "Thank you," she said. "Thank you for being brave. Thank you for standing up in the church. I was so angry at you that day. But you were right. You are my true soulmate. You are the sister I never had." I hugged her. "I will always protect you," I said. "I know," she said. "And I will always believe you." Now life is good again. Sarah is happy. She is working at a job she loves. She is not dating anyone yet, and that is okay. She is learning to love herself first. As for me, I learned something important. Sometimes, doing the right thing is very hard. Sometimes, the right thing hurts. It can make people angry. It can make you look like the bad guy. I ruined a wedding. I made a scene. I embarrassed my friend in front of everyone. But I saved her from a terrible mistake. I saved her from a life of lies. If you are ever in a situation like this, do not be afraid. If you see something wrong, say something. Even if your voice shakes. Even if you are scared. True friends tell the truth, even when it hurts, especially when it hurts. I am Melissa, and I am proud of what I did. I remember one moment very clearly. It was a few weeks after the wedding that never happened. Sarah and I were cleaning her apartment. We found a box of things from the wedding. The invitations, the ribbons, the little gifts for guests. Sarah looked at the box. For a moment, she looked sad. She picked up a ribbon. It was white and silver. "It was going to be a beautiful party," she said quietly. I stopped cleaning. I walked over to her. "Yes," I said, "it was going to be beautiful." She looked at me. "But do you know what is more beautiful?" "What?" I asked. "My freedom," she said. She threw the ribbon into the trash bag. "And my best friend." We both laughed. It felt good to laugh. The heavy feeling in the room went away. Life is full of surprises. Some are good, and some are bad. Mark was a bad surprise. But discovering the strength of our friendship was a good surprise. I often think about that day in the church. I think about the moment I stood up. My heart was pounding so hard I thought it would explode. I thought everyone would hate me. I thought Sarah would never speak to me again. It was the biggest risk of my life. But imagine if I had stayed seated. Imagine if I had stayed silent. Sarah would be married to him now. He would have taken her money. He would have left her alone and broken. Tina and the baby would still be a secret. the lie would continue. Silence is easy. Speaking up is hard. I want you to think about your own life. Do you have a friend like Sarah? Someone you love very much? What would you do if they were in danger? What would you do if you knew a secret that could hurt them? It is not an easy question. Many people told me I should have waited. They said, "You should have told her again before the wedding." Or, "You should have called the police." But I tried. I tried to tell her. She did not listen. The wedding was the last chance. It was the final moment. Sometimes, you have to be dramatic to be heard. Sometimes, you have to break the rules to fix the problem. I am not a hero. I am just a friend. I am just a woman who loves her best friend. Sarah and I are planning a trip now. We are going to the beach next month. Just the two of us. No men. No drama. Just sun, sand, and friendship. She is excited. She bought a new hat. She talks about the trip every day. I feel free, she told me yesterday. I feel like I have a second chance at life. And she does. We both do. I want to tell you one last thing. If you are ever afraid to speak the truth, remember my story. Remember the girl who stood up in the church. It was scary, it was messy, it was loud, but it was worth it. Because a wedding is just one day, but a marriage is a lifetime, and a friendship, a true friendship, is forever. I ruined the wedding day, but I saved the future, and I would do it again. Thank you for listening to my story. I hope it gives you courage. I hope it helps you be a good friend. Take care of the people you love. Watch out for them. And never be afraid to stand up for what is right. My name is Melissa. And this was the story of how I saved my best friend. Goodbye for now. Stay strong. Stay brave. And always tell the truth.